Hi, everyone. My name's Greg Garrett, Community Manager here at 3CX, joined by Nicholas Borsch, 3CX Product Manager. We're going to talk to you about 3CX Update 6, the final version, and what you can expect here. So the big ticket item is reporting. That's what everybody's been asking for a couple of years now. We've been talking to you about in some of our blog posts about Grafana integration and what that will bring to the table. We'll actually show you, we'll dive into our own Grafana instance here, and we'll show you some of the dashboards that Nicholas and his team have created. We'll also talk to you about 3CX's reports, because we've also updated our internal reports, giving you more filter options, more granularity with what you can report on and how you do it. We'll also talk to you about how we've upgraded our CDR, which has really made all of this possible by streamlining our CDR tables. So let's take a look. First off, the big ticket item here, Grafana. So you can take a Google BigQuery instance, which is going to be where your database will be. You can also use Postgres, which is also extremely powerful database. Or we've got MySQL coming up in Update 7. And then you can pair that up with the Grafana free tier, or you can pay if you'd like, but their free tier, extremely generous. A lot that you can do right out of the box without paying anything, and ultimately say goodbye to expensive add-ons. No need to drop a lot of money for your reporting module. This should take care of everything you need and a lot more. So one of the things you can do, go to our website, download our free Grafana templates. And right now, Nicholas's team has uploaded 10 different dashboards with a wide variety of metrics and views, queue reports, as you can see there, ring groups, extension level, a lot of great reports that are inbuilt for you in Grafana if you just download those and install. And we've got more coming up with one of our subsequent updates. So the beauty of that is you could then go in, and if you want to customize your dashboards, because maybe there's something unique that you or your customers need to see, go in and customize that, create your own report, your own visualizations. Maybe you don't want a pie chart, you want a bar chart or a line graph, or many other options that Grafana's got built in. So that is absolutely possible. Let me show you what Grafana looks like. Just a second. All right.
The coolest part is the customization. I think they can customize the graphs according to each of the company's preference, and maybe even if CFO asks for a particular visual or customization flow, this is all possible without waiting for 3CX to come up with updates.
Sure.
So if we had to edit one Grafana dashboard, you'd see you can move this around, okay? And maybe you want to check the SQL also and make modifications to it. So here is all the SQL in plain text for us to all see and learn from it. And the ability to understand how much each query will take when you run it, which will also give you some visualization on the data, how the data is being pulled. And from the SQL, which doesn't, so the SQL before inside 3CX was a very big and lots of join tables together. So now you can see that each visualization is like 10 to 15 lines of SQL code. It's easy to read. So, and yeah, you also correctly mentioned the visualizations that you can use, like, let's say, high value calls. And over here, let's edit. This is a whole list of inbuilt visualizations that you can use and make different reports with. So we've personally found this very helpful. It's quicker to develop and it's quicker to launch. We also want to give you some sneak peek on what's coming in Update 7. So Update 7 is also going to make our current state-of-the-art Postgres database a TSDB server, a time series database. And why are we doing this? Because there are some metrics which make a lot of sense over time, over a period of time, like CPU usage, memory, most active service, disk space trends, how the services look like. For example, here there was a drop in the services of 100 megs, yeah, nearly. So, and here it starts to increase. So you can take this over time. Plus, not to mention, there is an AI and machine learning built in Grafana, which can scan metrics and give you some more insights together with alerts. So we say, okay, when the memory of one particular service goes more, spikes high, and alert me via email or via Grafana notifications. So all these are inbuilt. Sharing of reports, share externally, share a snapshot or schedule a report. Everything comes packaged. And we will be releasing data sources. So when the data sources that we have here, we will be releasing them as we go along, and this is how you can configure a data source to connect to your dashboard.
Sure.
So your dashboard can use to connect with the offload database.
Sure, sure. Tell them about alerts. I know that we had talked about that, the ability to create out alerts when certain thresholds are met, SLAs are breached, or whatever. You can
absolutely, yeah, good point.
Configure
SLAs.
That. We've got that in the other tab, I believe. There
breaching
well.
breaching of SLAs. Let's say, for example, there is a queue, a particular campaign, and agents are not keeping up, or there are too many missed calls. You can alert on that.
Sure.
So that would be very, very, very useful. A useful use case to go in and see what's going on with this queue and with the users. So yeah.
Well, it's a pretty amazing advancement in 3CX's reporting technology. Again, because so many people have been asking over the years, we need customizable reports. It's something that's mandatory for our larger clients, enterprise caliber clients, and Grafana is a fantastic answer for that. One of the things to note, and let me switch back over. Give me just a moment here, guys.
And Grafana is just the start, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna have Power BI, any observability tool, is because the key is where the data is stored. So the data is not kept on the server and offloaded to a data source, and that data source, given it's Google, Postgres, big. So if you have, for example, we have Google and Postgres,
right?
Which means all cloud providers offer Postgres by default: Amazon, Azure, AWS, Google, GCP, and Azure. Then what's left? MySQL and Microsoft SQL. Then it covers all the databases in the world. So then once the data is there, it's up to you guys and your workload to decide what observability tool you want, because they all support. You want a data lake on Azure, you can use Power BI inbuilt. It works super seamless. Grafana has data sources you can explore, and we're listening on the forum. So if there is some data source which we will miss, or we don't have plans for it, the more requests sort of voting we get on the forum, the more motivation we will get to add it.
Sure, sure. Well, and I think you'll see, and as we go further into this presentation, there's been a lot of things that have come up in our forums that we've ended up answering with and going, hey, these are great suggestions. This adds value to partners, to customers, to 3CX. So makes sense. Let's do it. So with that being noted, let me actually switch over here and I'll talk to you about our data integrations, because we've been mentioning that. The whole point here is you're basically taking 3CX data, offloading it from your main system, pushing it into a cloud environment like Google BigQuery or in your Postgres, and you can also do that on a local server if you want to, but it's kind of optimized for moving it to the cloud. One caveat there, it does require a 16 simultaneous call license or larger. And the main thought behind that is this is more of an enterprise caliber solution. Really, your small guys, we have a great update, and I'll show you in just a moment what that looks like. But we've got a great solution for your smaller customers. Maybe they don't need such a savvy powerhouse like Grafana. They can do that in a couple other ways. So we'll show you that in just a minute. And look, the whole point behind this is basically going in and proactively solving a problem with the bloating of the database. Now, the database is being written to every time there's a phone call, every time something is routed. And so it grows in size over time. And at some point, it starts potentially degrading the call quality. Maybe you get jitter or latency issues because the system is spending effort processing requests like generate an extension level report, and it's having to pull that data, and especially if it's over a long time span, it takes a lot of processing power to do that. Now you can offload that into, Google's big servers that are more than capable, and let that process take place away from your main 365 system so that your resources can be dedicated to actually handling calls, which is what it's designed to do, right?
It's also something you can't really predict, Greg. Like, for example, how do you stop 10 people making reports of 1 year range?
Sure.
The longer the range also, the more heavy the SQL is going to be, the more the weight is going to be impacted on the database.
Sure.
So it's going to have more data to pull, more data to query and to transfer and to present on screen. So this idea was conceived by the fact that it's our phone system's primary objective is to serve calls.
Right.
Yeah? And of course, we cannot limit users from making reports. So like this,
Right.
Now, anyone can go and make their own reports because Grafana is talking to the offload server directly without 3CX being in the middle.
Sure. Well, it's a very smart way of doing it. And as you can see there, the whole point of that is to have a lot faster, more efficient processing of the data and optimize your 3CX system to where it's utilizing the resources it needs to be able to handle calls, which is primary. Right. And as I'd already mentioned, and I think Nicholas has mentioned as well, we're adding MySQL in update 7 and also looking at some other ones in the future as well. So stay tuned. A lot of great updates coming in the very near future here. Now, I'd mentioned to you that we're looking into solutions, and now we've rolled this out with update 6. And this is something I started exploring with. You can see I've basically taken the CSV data directly from the 3CX reports, dropped it into Google Sheets, which has Gemini embedded in it, and I gave it some basic prompts. And so I've created a really nice analytic look at the data directly from 365's CSV files. I was able to create a pie chart. You can make a line chart, a bar chart, linear, any type of visualization you want to see there. It's really quite intuitive the way it works. Excel has the same functionality. Obviously, it'll be using Microsoft Copilot, or you can drop that into many other types of AI platforms out there. We'll show you a couple of examples of what we've done. Now, the point is, Grafana is extremely powerful, but it's really not always necessary. So this is such a great solution for your smaller companies. Maybe they don't need a lot of customization, maybe a little bit, and typically they're on a smaller budget. So take that CSV file directly from your 365 system, launch it into Sheets or Excel, and then you can really process that data, build some charts and graphs and visualization. And we've added a lot greater filtration, so you can go in and granularly filter by user, by queue, by department. And there's some other filtering we'll talk about on one of our other slides. And then, as I'd mentioned there, take Gemini, Copilot. We'll show you ChatGPT. We'll also show you Claude, because, again, all of these tools can be utilized, and most of them are free. You certainly can use their free tier. If you don't want to pay for it, generate your own custom charts, graphs, and do an analysis. So let's switch over and take a look at that because, quite honestly, one of the coolest things I've messed with lately. So let's show you what that looks like.
Essentially, you can practically talk to your Excel.
Yeah.
And query, ask questions about the data it has inside. You will see on the right side of all applications, you will see an AI chat interface that you can talk to. Sure. So here, for example, we have a CSV data, contains telephony data. Can you generate a report designed for a call center? Try to give it some information of the audience who will be looking at this report. And we posted some a couple of rows from CSV output export. Yeah. And this is the output. So generated a PDF, gave some information. some visuals which are ready to use, and a report. And let's go. This test was maybe the page expired.
Yeah.
You can run it again. But for example, Claude generated this, which is like, I think it's a good dashboard.
Right.
Anyone can figure this out, and it's easy to read, and the report to go with it. Look here, it made a table and gave us peak activity, something that it understood that from the keywords that we put, a call center agent, so it understands that peak activity is one of the most important metrics in a call center. So thanks to some words in the prompt, like call center management audience, it says, okay, let me give this user some information which we know are predominant in call centers, and managers look for these in their reports. Talk time distribution. So yeah, pretty good.
Actually, right out of the box, it's pretty amazing. So, and again, this is using Claude AI, and it's using the free tier.
We used to spend hours and whole days to generate a report like this. Now we can do it in 3 seconds with a couple of lines. So let's use the inbuilt. Look at Google, what they're doing, adding AI to every single app that they have. Not only Google, I mean, X is fact checking with Grok.
Right.
So it's a lot of things that are adding AI to everything we're going to use. So let's use it.
Sure.
Talking to Excel, for example. Yeah. Literally talking.
Well, I think one of the questions that probably will come up quite a bit is, will 3CX provide any type of guide on how to prompt, or maybe some advice on how to do that? Is that something that you or your team have planned?
Yeah, absolutely. We can also make some webinars. Yeah. And if there are some questions about 3CX, we can also show them the support Q&A.
Yeah.
The AI support agent.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely have a lot more planned here. This is something that has already been launched, but it is also a work in progress. We will continue to innovate here because, again, really the sky's the limit. It is unbelievable what you can do with free tiers here. So let alone when you go to a paid model of your AI, which maybe you already have, drop the CSV in there, give it some basic prompts, and it's amazing what can be generated. So let's switch back over here, and we'll continue on. So hopefully you guys will appreciate that. I've been experimenting with it with pretty amazing results. And honestly, I'm not a prompting expert, but I'm learning quite quickly. With CDR 2.0, so what we've done, we've gone in and taken 7 or 8 tables, and we've consolidated them. And so some of these tables were a bit fragmented potentially. And so all of this basically streamlining of our tables in the CDR is enabling better reporting, because you've eliminated that join function, which takes a lot of processing power. And so we needed to do this before we could release the new reports. And so consolidation of these tables enables a lot faster, more efficient queries, and ultimately reduces system strain, which, as I was saying earlier, ultimately take that processing power, use it to process your calls, which is core functionality. So what we've done, we've taken all the various tables, and now they're stored in a single streamlined CDR output and CDR billing tables. And again, not fragmented, which allows them to basically gather that data and push it out much faster, much more efficiently,
and easier also.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to deal with one file with the features inside. Then it's just like any SQL developer will tell you how easy it is to pull data from one table only, instead of having to join 6 or 7 tables. So the join operation is an expensive one that causes a lot of resources, and also that will be transmitted into your code experience while you're building your dashboard. So this was the step. For a number of months we were doing this, and it was like under the hood work. There was nothing visible on the surface.
Right.
Then suddenly now things start to, the prompting of a CSV will be easier.
Yeah.
The development of dashboards, the support out of the box for observability tools. When you import a CSV file, it's very easy when you see the bars on Power BI being populated with table names that make sense, and they're easy to read, to understand, both for those that have and that don't have telephony experience. So
Sure.
3CX, the internals of a PBX in general, not only 3CX, can be quite hard to understand for beginners. So like this, with the easy to understand table names and one flat row, it's good. You can even see the progress of a call.
Sure.
How the call moves from one extension to the other, from one queue to the other.
Right. Well, one of the things that I'd been asked about by larger customers is they wanted what was referred to as a cradle to grave report, which is literally going to go and step by step through every leg of the call, from the initial ring, how long it rings for, it was transferred here, it went to a queue, and so it would literally track the call. And now that's quite possible. So
Absolutely,
easily be able to generate cradle to grave reports or any other type of reports, because the data is much cleaner, much simpler, and you can output it and process it so much more efficiently.
It's an excellent idea for a dashboard.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Now, I think that would be big time, especially for your call centers. They really want to be able to track the call from start to finish.
I can already see a dashboard of a call, a good call that you search for. So about dashboard developments, we're going very fast. We're adding a package of a set of dashboards for each data source that we do. And once we are at par and we give all the data that was that is currently achievable from the inbuilt reports, then we're going to start doing things that we don't have, like this.
Right now. Perfect. Well, I'm sure everyone out there will be happy to see these things coming, because people have been asking us either directly with their account managers or in the forums for some time now. So I'm sure everyone is super excited about what your team has put together.
We are too.
Because it's impressive. It really is. Well, with the data integrations and the reports, one of the things that we did here, you can see there on the graphic, we've added 4 new reports: inbound calls, outbound calls, user activity, and call distribution. So if you haven't already taken a look at that, and I'll talk to you a bit more about that in a second, but one thing I do want to mention, the first line there, once you upgrade to update 6, these new reports appear, and the ability for the data integration with BigQuery or others. Anything that you run a report on, the data will only be there after in the new reports and on the data integrations. So if you're going back and you're trying to look at legacy data from 6 months ago, a year, or even 2 weeks ago, if it's before the upgrade happened, those reports will not populate. So make sure that your expectations are set correctly, because that's how that will work. It will be new data only for these reports and for the data integrations, right? So new reports are going to give you a lot better view. And what I mean by that is the granularity in filtering, trunk, user activity, groups, departments, even extension ranges, which is something that many of you have asked about. We used to be able to do this. Now we need to be able to select a specific range. And we're going to need to do that on a call distribution, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. So you need ultimate flexibility in the range that you're going to look at those calls, extension ranges, groups, departments. We've now got that across all of the reports. You can then go in and you can very granularly sort that by whatever timescale you need, and extension ranges, groups, departments. So again, we heard you. You guys were loud and clear in the forums, and Nicholas and his team have had a great answer for you. One of the things that you had mentioned to me, and I really impressed me, that 3CX, we really always try and roll something out for the administrators, for the managers, and we certainly didn't fail to disappoint here. We've got a lot of great things. Let's talk to you about some of the big ones. We've had so many questions come in about the 3CX multi-company, and it was a different process to be able to launch that. That took a little bit more administration. And so we said, you know what, let's simplify that. And so now if you've got a 16 simultaneous call or larger license, it doesn't matter if it's been activated or not. That was one of the caveats previously. It needed to be unactivated. Well, and you needed to go to the downloads page, and there was a specific deployment method. Now you deploy it, or it could be already deployed, or you can redeploy it. And so even if it's already activated, go into the dashboard. You can see here, you click on that multi-company switch, takes you to a menu, and then you can go in and it will check your system. There's 4 checks that will happen, making sure that your users are only in one department, because that's a requirement. No CRM connected, no Teams, and no 365. As long as those checks come back successful, it restarts services, spins back up, and all the multi-company parameters will automatically be deployed, and you can start configuring individual tenants. So again, trying to make that administratively very, very simple to deploy and to start working on. One of the other things that we've done, we've put quite a bit of development effort into the Windows Soft Client, because so many companies out there are using that. With that expanded receptionist role, you can now update status. You can see here, I went in my instance and was able to do that. And also be able to change and update call forwarding rules for your users. Again, allowing that receptionist to have a little bit more administrative input into those that they are receptionists for. One other thing that's quite important that we added to that Windows Soft Phone was the drag and drop transfer. That is something that we had previously. A lot of people really like that. And so in the new Windows Soft Client, we've now brought that back. So you can do either a blind transfer or an attended. If you want to attend it, hold down the control key, drag that active call onto a user, and you can actually have an attended transfer. So really amazing what the teams managed to do there. Now, if I'm a supervisor or manager of a queue, I can force log them in or log them out, so I have some control over what's going on. And my favorite thing that we've done here is the impersonate user. I'm not sure if you guys have explored that option yet. For me, I found it to be really profound. And it's really meant to be for easy setup, configuration, and troubleshooting. I found a really nice additional use for it. So I happened to be out of the office when we were setting up these webinars, and they needed to promote them so that you guys would have plenty of time to sign up. So I made a phone call. Hey guys, I'm out of the office. I don't have access to my web client. Can someone impersonate me, go in and set up these webinars so that we can promote them? One of the team ended up going in very quickly, setting that up. And so from an impersonate, it allowed a really nice usability feature to be there. But again, I think it's intended more for troubleshooting and configuration.
Did that work for you?
Yeah, it worked perfect. You know, you do what you have to do. I love the feature. I mean, you can even go in and impersonate. Maybe I want to change their avatar or their photo for the users, and you want to, corporate standard type photo. Yeah. They don't even have to do it themselves. You could do it. I mean, again, that's a simple example, but there's so much you can do. Maybe they don't have something configured correctly, and rather than having to do a screen share or things like that, you can go in, impersonate, see exactly what's going on, and make the necessary change very quickly. The other thing I want to highlight here, remote access for troubleshooting and support. Again, eliminating that need for third-party tools. You don't have to pay extra for that type of product. Built into 3CX right on your dashboard. Click on that remote access. And what's going to happen is your system owners or admins, they're going to get a temporary revocable remote access link. Obviously, that's for security purposes. And that permission-based is going to exclude API access for obvious reasons. To kind of help with security.
Yeah, but this is cool. It saves a lot of time.
Oh my gosh, it's a game changer. Yeah.
You can be in an environment where TeamViewer is not allowed to be installed, for example, and no remote access software can be installed. And with a link, you can help or check the settings of another PBX.
Sure.
Very quickly, very easy.
Yeah. No, I think it's a game changer from a support standpoint. And then the other thing we did here, let's say you're a 3CX partner and you need to submit a support ticket. Rather than having to go and log into your 3CX partner portal, if you've got a commercial key that you're managing, log into the administration console, and then from there you can actually submit a support ticket. Or if you're a customer, you can do that as well directly from your admin console. So again, very simple, nice management improvement there that 3CX has rolled out, trying to make your jobs a little bit easier. Now, a few other additional details, and then we'll take some questions because I can see that looks like our chat's blowing up. I think our team's helping you guys out there. So we do have some security updates that we've rolled in. Go check our blog. I won't go through all of those in detail, but there's 3 or 4 kind of main security updates that we rolled out for you. The other thing that you guys ask for quite a bit in our forums is to be able to disable the voicemail routing to the operator extension when you hit the star key. Now you can actually disable that and it will repeat the greeting instead. And one thing to note there, the Google translation has now updated to Gemini 2.0. That's the flashlight model version of that. So if you're using the legacy Google transcription engine, it will stop working. So you will need to update that to continue getting Google transcriptions. If you're using the 3CX transcription engine or OpenAI, you don't need to do anything there. Q callbacks, we did make a nice update to Q callbacks so that people couldn't abuse that functionality. You can read more details about that in Update 6 blog. And there's a lot of other great features there that you can read about. So that's really all we had for you. I hope you found that quite useful. Let's take some questions.
Please like and subscribe for more great updates on 3CX.